Hey guys, what is up? It is the Fast Break Report here, bringing you guys another vlog. And, well, I'm gonna make a video today that I think is gonna piss a lot of people off, but I kinda don't care. I'm gonna finally explain why I don't like Shaedon Sharpe, and I don't care if people don't like this. I've done my homework on the kid, and I'm gonna explain why I don't like Shaedon Sharpe and why I actually think he's going to be a bust. A lot of people didn't like the videos I've made on Shaedon Sharpe, and understandably so. You know, I've kind of made blanket statements as like, oh, well, I didn't like his post-workout interview, or, you know, I've just said generic things like, I don't like his defense, or, you know, he's a terrible ball handler and stuff like that, and I haven't really given any context as to why I don't like these things. And in this video, I thought I would provide some comparisons, and really give you guys why I think the way I do, why I don't like Shaedon Sharpe, and why I think he's going to be a bust. And I know that's an unpopular opinion, but I don't care. But I think, you know, after the past week and a half, I think you guys deserve that. You know, especially the people who think I'm just hating on him to hate on him because, or, you know, a lot of people think I'm just hating on him because of the workout interviews and because of he's a high school player. And I just want to say this, okay? Shaedon Sharpe is a freak athlete. I mean, when it comes to just pure fucking athleticism, the kid's got it, okay? I'm going to call it what it is. He's got it. But the problem is, in the NBA, athleticism only gets you so far, okay? Like, I don't know if people remember James White, I think his name was, for the Knicks, but dude was a freak athlete, but he was a shitty NBA player, okay? If anything, Shaedon Sharpe could maybe be Gerald Green, or maybe Jason Richardson on the high, maybe a J.R. Smith type player. But the problem is, I feel like the media and a lot of basketball YouTubers have really misguided people on how good Shaedon Sharpe is. You know, I think people, what they do is they hear some of these NBA talking heads who don't really know shit about him talk about him. They get their little fucking pre-show summary of the player, and then they talk about him, right? A lot of there's no way that all of these analysts have sat down and actually watched this kid play basketball in high school. And when I hear people like Kendrick Perkins come out and say, oh, Shaedon Sharpe has a quick first step, when he in fact doesn't, okay? Like, I hear them say these things, and I think to myself, well, it's no wonder people think the kid's gonna be the next fucking Kobe Bryant. It's because you got people like Kendrick Perkins coming out here saying blasphemous shit about a player that I guarantee you has never watched a single high school game of. So I want to talk about this and really give some context on why I don't like Shaedon Sharpe. And I've got some things written down here on my iPhone. You know, I got one main thing that I want to cover, but most of the stuff I already know. So the first thing I want to talk about is the reason why he left Kentucky and why he didn't prepare for another season. Because in his post-game workouts, right, he told teams that, oh, I didn't play because I was getting ready for next season. Now, this is just a rumor, and this is just speculation, but it makes a lot of sense, okay? When you think about it in the grand scheme of things, okay? I don't know this to be true, but the more I hear about it, the more it makes sense, okay? Shaedon Sharpe reclassified and, you know, ended up getting into Kentucky as a freak athlete, okay? But didn't play a single game at Kentucky. However, people at Lexington, and apparently some insiders, have said this kid can barely fucking read. And I don't know how true that is. This is just what I've heard. It's all rumors. But they're starting to see some shit go around on the internet that he never showed up to class. He couldn't fucking read. And that's why he didn't go back to Kentucky, because he wouldn't have met eligibility or continued his scholarship eligibility. Like he would have lost his scholarship. So that's why he didn't play a single game for Kentucky, because he wasn't academically eligible to fucking play. That's the problem. And the more I think about it, the more it makes sense. It's like, why isn't this kid telling people or giving them an honest answer about why he sat out? And I just think to myself, yeah, maybe he didn't meet academic eligibility and that's why he didn't play. And also, like, it didn't make sense to me that he would say, you know, oh, I didn't play because I was getting ready for next season, when you specifically didn't intend to fucking play next season. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, why would you tell NBA teams that you were preparing for next season when you had zero plans to go back to Kentucky? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the issue there. That's the problem I have with that. And now that I hear about the academic eligibility shit, it kind of makes more sense. So that's the first thing. That's the first thing that I don't like about Shaedon Sharpe. The second thing I don't like about Shaedon Sharpe is this kid shot 18% from 3 in high school. Okay? In the 12 games that he played most recently in high school, when he played for Dream City Christian Academy in Arizona, okay, he shot, granted, 64% from the field, 75% from the free throw line, but he shot 18% from 3. And all the rumors I kept hearing that he wasn't that good at taking people off the dribble and shooting off the dribble and stuff like that kind of makes sense, because the more I watch this kid play, the more I'm like, okay, he takes bad shots. And the more I watch him play, the more I'm just like, it seems like if he's not getting a dunk, a layup, or shooting free throws, he's not scoring. And what really kind of exposed Shaedon Sharpe to me, it was watching the Geico, what is it? I think it was the 2021 Geico Top Flight Invitational. Now, if you don't know what the Geico Top Flight Invitational is, it's where they take the top teams in the country, essentially, like teams with like a lot of ESPN top 100 recruits on them, and they hold the tournament. And I watched Shaedon Sharpe and his team play against Prolific Prep Academy out of California. Now, this is a good fucking team, okay? They got Dior Johnson, I think his name is MJ Rice or RJ Rice or whatever, and he's the 20th ranked prospect in the country. And Prolific Prep actually plays team basketball, whereas Shaedon Sharpe's team doesn't, okay? And granted, they fucking lost. In fact, a lot of times when Prolific Prep played Dream City, they got their ass kicked. And in this game, Shaedon Sharpe shot like 4 of 13 from the field, 1 of 6 from 3, and shot like 8 of 12 from the free throw line. So I was like, okay, he scored 17 points. He shot 4 of 13 from the field, shot 1 of 6 from 3. And I'm like, this is against like a team that's actually good with players that are actually good. And when I see him play like that, but he's playing teams where Mikey Williams is the only ranked player on the team. Mikey Williams is like ranked 11th in the country on the ESPN Top 100. And they can beat that team, but that's because Mikey Williams is the only fucking ranked player on that team. Shaedon Sharpe has 2 other players on his team that are ranked in the ESPN Top 100. And when I watch him play Prolific Prep, I'm like, he's getting the ball stolen from him. He's getting basically manhandled under the fucking basket. I mean, granted, he's 6'6", but, you know, so is pretty much everybody else out there on the fucking floor with him. And so that was another thing I didn't like. It's like every game I watch, it's like if he plays a shitty team, yeah, Shaedon Sharpe is fucking great. But once he plays a team that's actually fucking good, he doesn't play well. So, and that was just in high school. Never mind on the college level or the NBA level, right? So that was another thing. To me, it seems like his off-ball shooting or off-the-dribble shooting that people like to brag about comes when Shaedon Sharpe gets open shots off the screen. Okay, but if he's got to take someone one-on-one isolation, he usually either fucks up the dribble or gets the ball stolen from him, from what I've seen, okay? So that's another thing I don't like. I think his isolation game is overrated. I think his defense is overrated. I think his ability to create shots off the dribble are overrated. He didn't shoot the 3 well in high school. And the last thing that I want to touch base with here after all of that, and this is the big one, okay, this is the one I actually wrote shit down for because there was a lot to take in here. On the ESPN Top 100, okay, for 2021, last year, okay? I want to read some names to you, okay? Patrick Baldwin Jr., okay, went 28th in the draft 3 days ago. He was ranked 5th in the entire country in high school, okay? Mans went 28th in the NBA draft this year. Jaden Hardy, who was the second, number 2 on the ESPN Top 100 in 2021, went 37th in the draft this year, okay? Kendall Brown, who went to my Indiana Pacers at the 48th pick, was ranked 17th in the country in high school. Okay? So we got 2 guys on this list who were in the top 10. One of them was ranked number 2 in the entire country. And he went 30. They didn't even go in the fucking lottery. One guy just barely made it out of the first round. I'm telling you, just because somebody is ranked very high in high school and they're freakishly athletic, doesn't mean their game's going to translate to the next level. And I'm actually very, very interested to see how Shaedon Sharpe is going to play in the summer league against college talent. And maybe he plays well. But I have an odd feeling Shaedon Sharpe is going to bust. Just because somebody is ranked number 1 in the entire country in high school and you believe they're a top 10 pick doesn't mean they are a top 10 pick. That's what I'm saying here. Jabari Smith in the ESPN Top 100 in 2021 was ranked 6th. Okay? I mean, it's just the idea, like, the ESPN Top 100 rankings aren't always accurate. And I think people see shit they see on YouTube. They see some Ball is Life mixtapes or they see some highlights and they're like, oh, this kid's fucking amazing. But do they take the time to sit there and watch this kid's entire game? No, they don't. They don't sit there and watch him play. They don't watch every single game all the way through, okay? They just sit there, watch a couple highlights, hear some talking heads on TV talk about him, and they think they fucking know everything. But when you do a deep dive into some of these players, you're like, okay, he's not that good. And that's why I don't like Shaedon Sharpe. Don't get me wrong, the kid is a freak fucking athlete, okay? I mean, the kid can jump out of the fucking gym. He's a very good finisher around the basket, but I don't think his game is polished enough to be a first round pick. I honestly, and this is gonna hurt some feelings, I think, Shaedon Sharpe shouldn't have even went in the fucking lottery. Okay? The Portland Trailblazers, I think, took Shaedon Sharpe because they think another team will trade for him. And I feel like when we start watching the NBA Summer League and you see Shaedon Sharpe go against some of these guys who've been in the NBA for a year, Chris Duarte of the Indiana Pacers, who else can we think of here? When he's got to go against guys like maybe, who was somebody else who went high last year? I can't think of at the moment. I'm drawing a blank on this. I'm so focused on this high school shit at the moment. But I think when you see him go against guys like Chris Duarte and stuff like that, Cade Cunningham, Scotty Barnes, okay, like Jalen Green, okay, when you see him go against some of those guys, now I'm picking him up. You know what I'm saying? When you see him have to play against some of these people and his number gets called, it's gonna be a fucking shit show, okay? And I just think I understand why people like him. I hope he does well, but Shaedon Sharpe is one of those guys that I can see getting drafted in the top 10 and ends up playing in the fucking G League for the next year or two. And in some cases, I almost think that's being generous. So don't think that I just hate on players just to fucking hate on players, okay? There's a reason I didn't like Shaedon Sharpe. And now I hope people understand that a little bit, okay? Because like I said, okay, just going over these couple players, and there's plenty of more of them, okay? There's plenty more of them on that list who didn't end up going in the first round, and they were, in high school, ranked within the top 100. A lot of them were. And when I see guys like Patrick Baldwin Jr. went 28th, but in high school was ranked on 5th on ESPN's top 100, and you got Jaden Hardy, who was 37th in the draft this year, and was ranked 2nd in high school on ESPN's top 100. Then you have Kendall Brown, who's ranked 48th, who went 48th in the draft, and was ranked 17th in high school, I think to myself, just because Shaedon Sharpe was number 1 doesn't mean he's actually number 1. I mean, if we look at the if we look at what is it, Jaden Hardy high school rank, right? If we look at the ESPN Top 100 when Jaden Hardy was ranked 2nd, okay? Chet Holmgren was number 1. Jaden Hardy was number 2. Amani Bates was number 3. Paolo Banchero was number 4. Patrick Baldwin Jr. was number 5. Jabari Smith was number 6. Jalen Duren was number 7. I mean, Michael Foster was number 9. Kennedy Chandler was number 10. I mean, Ty Washington was 14th. Okay, like Max Christie, who the Lakers got, was 18th. Kendall Brown was 17th. I mean, there's a lot of guys here who are ranked very high in the ESPN Top 100 who didn't end up going there. So, all I'm saying is, man, next year is going to be very interesting. But that's it for me. That's it, guys. I just wanted to give my reasoning for why I don't like Shaedon Sharpe, and it's okay to disagree with me. But it's just the idea. I think this kid's incredibly overrated. I understand why the Portland Trailblazers picked him. Would I have picked him? No. I would have taken Jalen Duren over him very easily. And I hope he proves me wrong. I really do. So tell me what you guys think about this down below in the comment section below. A like helps me out. Subscribe if you guys want to see more on the Fast Break Report. And I'm out of this motherfucker. Peace, guys.